Hey guys, so I want to quickly talk about risk reward ratios again. So someone has asked me, with such tight stop losses, am I able to, or if I'm able to actually win trades? And I'll tell you, yes and no. And the reason for my answer being yes and no is very simple. It's the truth. I am going to lose some trades, and I am not a stranger of talking, or I'm not a stranger to talking about that. I'm not afraid to talk about that. But I want to show you something here. So I did lose this AUD NZD trade, and this is from last week, right? But again, I was absolutely correct about it as per my analysis and as per my understanding of the direction. Now, what I want you to understand is if I did not make the mistake that I would have made, which was I entered on one wrong candle, and I were to capture this, right? Up until literally a few hours ago, right? This trade would have gone ultimately about 90 pips in my favor, just a little above 90 pips in my favor, up until a few hours ago. I want you to understand, again, all of this is done on the 15-minute time frame. Trend line is drawn here. Everything is drawn here. AUD NZD had no reason to reverse. Therefore, for me personally, I wouldn't try to sell it. Everything would allude to buys for me. Like I said, I lost the trade because of an issue or an error on my part, nothing with my system. This was me actually being a human being and making a mistake, as I would have mentioned, I do all the time. But if I did get it correct, do you realize that with a 10 pip stop loss, this is a 1-to-9 risk to reward ratio in a matter of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days, all right? Which means that if I were in this trade, I'm just saying if, right? Just to give you an idea as to what it is I do. If I were in this trade and holding it, right? I had the ability to make 9 times what I would have risked, which also means that if I lost 9 trades in a row, which is unlikely, because if I'm losing, by the time I lose 3 trades in a row, realistically speaking, I'm going to stop trading for the day or for the week, most likely for the week. I'm going to take the rest of the week off. And because at that point I'm thinking that maybe I'm not seeing things how I should see them. And thus my eyesight and my vision and my win ratio is suffering because of that. So I'm going to stop. So the likelihood of me losing 9 trades in a row is not very, very probable. It's possible, but it's not very probable. That being said, let's just say I were to lose 3 trades in a row, all I needed, right, is to get 1, just like this, and I would get my 30 pips back because I am risking 10 pips per trade, which would be 10 pips per loss. 10 by 3 is 30. I would have lost 30 pips, but this one trade would have given me 90 pips back, which is 30 that I would have lost and 60 on top of that. So it doesn't matter if I lose. The fact is, you see, and that's something that I know a lot of traders are still not accustomed to understanding. A lot of traders have the belief that your win-loss ratio needs to be ridiculously high. That is nothing further from the truth. If you have very, very good risk-to-reward ratios, you could have a 10% win-to-loss ratio. And if you have a good enough risk-to-reward ratio, you could make everything back, as is proven. And I'm saying that the likelihood, again, of me losing 9 times in a row is not very, very probable, right? So even if I lose 3, 4 trades in a row, sometimes 5 trades in a row, which is rare, right? I'm going to make it back, and I'm going to make profit on top of what I would have lost, because that's the idea. The goal, as I always say, and anybody who knows me, the goal, as I always say, is to minimize the risk but maximize the reward. There's another advantage to using very, very tight stop losses, right? I want you to think about this. If you have a very wide stop loss, let's just say you were to enter this trade in a similar fashion, right? In a similar fashion, because you have similar reasons or you have a similar strategy or whatever, right? Now, this is the strategy that I've created. If you have a similar system that you've created, kudos to you. That's good. I want you to understand something. If you have a wider stop loss, right? Let's just say you have a 20 pip stop loss, or maybe a 30 pip stop loss. So let's just say at the very least a 50 pip stop loss, right? Let's just say you have a 50 pip stop loss. At what point do you know that you were wrong about this trade? You shouldn't need to endure a 50 pip drawdown for the market to tell you that you're wrong. One like me, if I'm being honest with myself and I'm being honest with you, I prefer to know that I am wrong sooner than later. That is the advantage that I have by using tight stop losses. So I am okay with losing because I know that when I lose, it was because I was wrong. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not going to endure 50 pips of drawdown just to know that I was wrong. No, I rather know that I was wrong from the jump because I am entering in with such a precise entry style. The idea behind that is I'm not drawing out the process. You understand? I'm not making it longer than it needs to be, harder on myself that it needs to be. And furthermore, what you need to understand is the longer you stay in drawdown, the less chance you have of taking other trades because your margin is being consumed. So if you have 50 pips in drawdown or you have a wider stop loss and it's in drawdown, the chances of you being able to, open another trade to say, let's just say buffer the loss is not very high. You would actually have to risk more. But if I lose almost immediately, right? Think about this. I am now freeing up my margin. That's why it's called free margin. I'm freeing up my margin to now take another opportunity that might present itself. And you know something? That might be the opportunity that gives me the 90 pips. So I might lose 10 now. I might lose 20 now. I might even lose 30 now. You know something? All I need is one to give me 90 and I'm going to win it all back. And that is the idea behind using such an aggressive risk to reward, right? Or such an aggressive stop loss to profit ratio. Not everybody's going to understand this because not everybody is able to accept the fact that they lose, right? But the thing is, this allows me to lose and be okay because one, I can't cry over spilt milk. Two, by losing 10, it kind of come like I'm losing nothing. And if I win almost everything, right? And three, at worst case scenario, I'm going to end the week minus 30 pips, maybe minus 40 pips. Maybe let's just say I had a really tough week and I lost 90 pips for the week. The likelihood of the next week me making that 90 pips back is very, very high. Very, very high. Right? And I could continue, even then I could continue to lose. I lose the next week, I lose 10 again, I lose 20 again. I just need one to give me 110. And that's not very hard. It's not very hard to make 110 pips, especially when, you understand your setup in the manner and in the way that you do understand it. So for anybody who thinks that a tight stop loss is a problem, maybe you need to consider or reconsider what it is I'm telling you here. Because what the tight stop loss does for me is it gives me more opportunities. It gives me opportunities to take new trades, and it gives me opportunities to acknowledge the fact that I was wrong, learn from it, and then make the necessary adjustments. Other than that, I hope that, this would have made some sense to you. I hope that you would have grabbed something and learned something. And yeah, at the end of it all, that is what, being a trader really is about, right? Learning and adjusting to what you have learned and actually applying it, right? If you like this video, obviously hit like, right? Comment below if it is you agree or disagree. And I know a lot of you are going to disagree. Listen, my job isn't to make you agree with me, right? But if you agree, then kudos, congratulations. And I appreciate that. If you disagree, tell me why, right? Tell me what it is. What is your argument for you disagreeing, right? What is your argument for you not using a tighter stop loss? Other than that, also hit subscribe if it is you want more content like this, and ring the bell so that you can know when I do post videos and new videos. And yeah, if it is you have any questions, obviously you can reach out to me at Ikata Trading on Telegram, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, wherever. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. Peace out, guys.